Welcome to this audiobook 880 podcast, where we dive into powerful ideas that transform lives. Today, we bring you excerpts from a book that has inspired millions. A book about personal and professional growth, discipline, and unlocking your true potential. Imagine waking up before the world, embracing the silence of the morning, and setting the tone for a highly productive and fulfilling day. This is the core idea behind the 5 a.m. Club, a revolutionary concept that teaches how a structured morning routine can elevate your productivity, well-being, and success. In this journey, you'll meet an entrepreneur and an artist, guided by an unexpected mentor, a billionaire who shares profound insights on self-improvement, perseverance, and achieving peak performance. Through engaging storytelling and practical techniques, this book will help you harness self-awareness, discipline, and the balance between work, rest, and self-care. So put on your earphones, relax, and step into the world of limitless potential. Get ready to transform your mornings and ultimately your life.
Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive with yours truly. This time, we're going to exploring this book I found that's all about, well, it's kind of a blend, really. Self-help, business insights, and a dash of philosophy for good measure.
Always a good mix.
Right? And today we're going to try to unpack it all, see if we can't pull out some of those nuggets of wisdom that'll help you boost your productivity and, honestly, just live a more fulfilling life. You know, that's what we're all about here.
Absolutely. And I think what makes this one so interesting is it's not just a dry how-to manual. They actually weave all these insights into a really compelling story.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
So picture this. You're at this seminar led by this super charismatic speaker. They actually call him the Spellbinder in the book.
Okay, catchy name.
Right. And at this seminar, we meet two of our main characters. We've got this successful entrepreneur, and she's actually in the midst of a battle to save her business from a hostile takeover. Talk about high stakes.
Well, intense. So what about the other character?
So the other character is this talented artist. He's grappling with some inner demons and also seeking personal growth. So you've got these two very different people, both drawn to this seminar for their own reasons, but then things take a really unexpected turn.
Oh, I love a good plot twist. What happens?
Well, picture this. A homeless man wearing this super expensive watch. He walks right into the seminar and basically disrupts the whole thing.
Wow, talk about a contradiction. A homeless man with a luxury watch. I'd be skeptical too.
Oh, for sure. And everyone at the seminar is kind of like, what's going on here? But then this guy, he starts sharing these really unconventional ideas about hardship and solitude and self-improvement. And it really makes you think, you know, don't judge a book by its cover and all that.
Totally. So this guy's like a hidden mentor in disguise.
Basically. And to really drive his point home, he actually invites both the entrepreneur and the artist on an all-expenses-paid trip to this magical island off the coast of Cape Town, the Catch. They have to join something called the 5 a.m. Club.
Wait, so a homeless man is sending these people on a luxury trip. I'm hooked.
Right. And even the journey itself is filled with lessons.
Yeah.
They get picked up in a chauffeur-driven Range Rover, all very fancy. And the chauffeur, he's full of wisdom. He drops these little gems of wisdom like appearances can be deceiving and your clothes don't define your character.
Yeah, it's so easy to judge based on first impressions, right?
Totally. So they finally reach this island paradise. It's idyllic. And they finally meet their host. His name's Stone Riley. And get this, he's a billionaire, but he first appears as a surfer, just hanging out on the beach.
Okay, that's unexpected. A billionaire surfer dude, who would have thought?
Right. So this Riley guy, his whole philosophy is about the power of precision, meticulousness. He calls it granularity.
Granularity. I like it. So how does he explain that?
Well, he uses this really interesting analogy of Formula One pit crews and how they're so laser focused on even the tiniest details. It's amazing. Every little adjustment can make the difference between winning and losing.
That's a great point. In today's world, everything's so fast-paced, it's easy to lose sight of that dedication to excellence, that craftsmanship.
Exactly. And Riley actually argues that we're witnessing a collective deprofessionalization of business. Like, distraction and mediocrity are becoming the norm.
It's true. It's all about shortcuts and instant gratification these days.
Right. And the artist in the story, he totally gets this. He actually compares it to the meticulous techniques of the Dutch painter Vermeer. It's all about that dedication, that care that translates into truly masterful work.
That's a great comparison. So it's not just about speed, it's about quality and precision. What else does this Riley guy teach?
So Riley also talks about these self-fulfilling prophecies, this idea that our beliefs actually shape our reality. And he introduces this term, learned victimhood, which is basically when we get stuck in this mindset of blaming external factors for our problems.
Learned victimhood. So instead of taking responsibility, we play the victim.
Exactly. And the entrepreneur in the story, she's actually struggling with this. She starts to realize that her fear and insecurity come from tying her self-worth to her company, to outside validation.
Oh, so she's defined by her success in the business world. I can see how that would be a trap.
Totally. But then she has this breakthrough, and she starts to understand that true fulfillment comes from within. It's about owning your power and choosing empowering beliefs.
That's a powerful realization. And it ties into this whole idea of inner work, right?
Absolutely. And to help with this, Riley talks about the 4 interior empires. It's basically a framework for personal mastery that focuses on mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set. It's all about cultivating a holistic sense of well-being, not just thinking positive thoughts.
I love that. So it's not just about one aspect of yourself, it's about the whole package.
Exactly. And as the entrepreneur starts applying these principles, she really starts to transform. She's less fearful, more confident, and she finds this renewed sense of purpose.
Okay, so she's getting results, but how exactly is she applying these principles? What does it look like in practice?
Well, the core of it all is something called the 20-20-20 formula. It's this really tactical breakdown of the morning routine into 3 20-minute pockets.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this 20-20-20 thing. What do you do in each 20-minute block?
So the first 20 minutes are all about move. Getting that vigorous exercise to boost those feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. It sets you up for a day of focus and energy.
Makes sense. Get the blood pumping first thing in the morning. What about the second 20 minutes?
The second 20 is reflect. This is where you create some mental clarity and stillness. It could be meditation, journaling, just quiet contemplation. It's about connecting with yourself and setting your intentions for the day.
So it's not just about a physical, it's about nurturing your mind too.
Exactly. And then the final 20 minutes, it's grow. This is where you focus on learning and expanding your knowledge and skills. It could be reading, listening to a podcast, maybe even this one.
Well, I hope so. But yeah, it sounds like a really balanced approach, combining physical activity, mindfulness, and continuous learning.
Right. And Riley really stresses that to make this new routine stick, you need consistency. He calls it the 66-day minimum. It's the approximate time it takes to really solidify a new habit.
66 days, huh? Well, I guess that makes sense. We've all tried to start new habits and then given up after a week or two.
Oh, totally. And Riley actually breaks down the process into this 4-part pattern: trigger, routine, reward, and repetition. It's basically a roadmap for integrating this new routine into your life.
Okay, so there's a structure to it. He doesn't just say, wake up at 5 a.m. and figure it out.
Right, and he acknowledges that it's not going to be easy. There are stages to this process, like there's the installation stage where it feels really disruptive.
Like anything new, there's an adjustment period.
Yeah, and then you've got the honeymoon stage where you're all excited and motivated, but, that can fade.
So how do you keep going when that initial excitement wears off?
That's when you hit the hell stage. This is where the doubt creeps in and you're tempted to quit. But Riley says this is where the real growth happens. If you can push through that, you reach the reward stage, and that's where the magic really starts to happen.
Oh, I like that. So the resistance is actually a good sign.
Exactly. It means you're pushing your boundaries and growing. But there's one more thing we need to talk about, and it might surprise you. It's all about the importance of sleep.
Oh, sleep. That's a topic I could talk about for hours.
Me too. And Riley brings back the spellbinder to really drive this point home.
Wait, the spellbinder, the homeless guy from the seminar?
The one and only.
So we've been getting into the philosophy behind the 5 a.m. club, but I'm really curious about the practical side of things. Like, how do you actually make these ideas work in real life?
Yeah, that's what's so great about this book. It doesn't just stop at theory. It actually gives you tools to implement this stuff. And one of the most powerful things Riley talks about is the 901 rule. It's about dedicating the first 90 minutes of your workday to your most important task for 90 days straight.
Right, that tight bubble of total focus thing. Block out all distractions and dive deep.
Exactly. And he's really serious about eliminating distractions. No phone, no email, no internet. Just you and the task at hand.
Honestly, that sounds kind of terrifying. I'm so used to being connected all the time.
I get it. It's definitely a challenge. But Riley acknowledges that most of us can't just jump into that level of focus. That's why he also talks about the 60-10 method.
The 60-10. So you work for 60 minutes and then take a 10-minute break.
Exactly. It's about working in those focused bursts and then giving yourself time to recharge.
Okay, that sounds a lot more manageable, especially for someone like me who's used to multitasking and checking notifications every 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's about respecting your natural energy cycles and avoiding burnout. And the best part is, these techniques can apply to any field, really.
That's so true. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur, an artist, a writer, whatever. Focusing on deep work can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. But Riley also makes it clear that sustainable success, true mastery, isn't just about pushing yourself to the limit all the time. You have to prioritize rest and recovery.
I was going to ask about that. It seems counterintuitive, but it makes sense. You can't always be on. So how does Riley recommend we incorporate recovery?
Well, get this. He suggests taking 2 full days off every week. No work, no technology, nothing. He calls them 0 device days.
2 full days without my phone or email, that's a radical concept.
I know, right? But he says it's crucial for restoring your creative energy, preventing burnout, all that good stuff.
I can see the benefits, but I'd probably get major FOMO.
Probably. But Riley suggests scheduling those days in advance like you would any other important appointment.
That's a good tip. Make it non-negotiable. So what about physical recovery?
Oh, he has a very specific strategy for that. He calls it the 2MP.
2MP. Okay, I'm gonna need you to break that down for me.
It stands for 2 90-minute massages per week.
Wait, seriously, 2 massages a week? Is this guy for real?
He's totally serious. He believes regular massage is essential for reducing stress, improving sleep, and boosting overall well-being. He even says it helped him overcome chronic pain.
Wow, okay. I usually think of massage as an occasional treat, but he's framing it as an investment in your health and productivity.
Right, it's all connected. When you take care of yourself physically, it impacts every other area of your life.
I like that. It's a holistic approach to success. So we've got productivity techniques, recovery strategies. What else is in Riley's toolbox?
Well, we need to talk about the billionaire's 11 maxims. These are basically his personal guiding principles for living a good life, a life of meaning and purpose.
I'm all about those guiding principles. How does he present them in the book?
It's really cool, actually.
Mhm.
Each maxim is represented by a charm in a box, and he reveals them one by one. It's very dramatic.
Ooh, I love a little drama. So what's the first maxim?
The first one is to create magic in the world. Own the magic within yourself. And it's represented by a mirror.
A mirror. That makes sense. It's all about self-reflection, right?
Exactly. It's about understanding yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, and building that strong foundation within.
Love it. What about the second one?
The second one is collect miraculous experiences over material things. It's about shifting your focus from acquiring stuff to creating memories.
Yes, experiences over things. I'm all about that.
He even talks about how he licks his journal every morning as a way to heighten his gratitude for the experiences he's written about.
Okay, licking your journal is a little out there, but I get the sentiment. It's about savoring those moments.
Exactly. The third maxim is turn your pain into power.
That's deep. So it's about reframing challenges and using them to grow.
Exactly. He talks about forgiveness, letting go of resentment, and using those tough experiences as fuel for transformation.
Powerful stuff. What's next?
The fourth one is gratitude is the antidote to fear.
Ooh, I love that. Gratitude is so important. It really can shift your perspective.
He argues that when you focus on what you're grateful for, fear naturally melts away, creating space for creativity and courage.
It's like a superpower.
Right. The fifth maxim is journaling is the GPS to your ideal future. It's all about writing down your thoughts, goals, and dreams to gain clarity.
I'm a huge believer in journaling. It's like therapy on paper.
Right. And it helps you stay accountable to yourself.
Okay, what's number 6?
Number 6 is to find your best self, forget your perfect self.
Ooh, I needed to hear that today.
It's about embracing imperfection, letting go of the need to be flawless.
So true, especially in the age of social media.
Right. It's about being authentic and resilient, not chasing some unattainable ideal.
Okay, what's next?
The world is your mirror.
So our external reality reflects our internal state.
Exactly. It's about taking responsibility for your thoughts and actions.
Okay, I'm getting deep here.
We're on a roll. Number 8 is be so good they can't ignore you.
Love it. Strive for excellence. Let your work speak for itself.
That's the idea. Number 9 is fall 7 times, stand up 8.
Oh, classic. It's about resilience, never giving up.
Right, embracing failure as part of the journey.
I like that. What's number 10?
Don't be a bystander in your own life.
Yes. Take charge. Create the life you want.
He's all about action, stepping outside your comfort zone.
Okay, last but not least, what's number 11?
The final maxim is, remember, it's all a gift.
Oh, that's a beautiful one.
It's about approaching life with gratitude, appreciating all the experiences, even the tough ones.
So true. It's all about perspective.
Exactly. So those are the 11 maxims, a framework for living an exceptional life.
Yeah.
But it's not just about understanding them, it's about putting them into practice.
Right. And that's where those practical strategies come in, the 90901 rule, the 60-10 method, all of that. It's all connected.
Totally. It's about creating a life that feels aligned with your values.
Amazing. We've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about productivity, recovery, those powerful maxims. But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to the importance of sleep. You know, we hear all the time about how important sleep is for our health and well-being. But I feel like this book really drives that point home in a way that's, like, impossible to ignore.
It's true, and the way they do it is super interesting. There's this whole scene that takes place in the Roman catacombs.
The catacombs. Okay, now I'm curious.
Yeah, it sounds a bit creepy, but it's actually really powerful. The spellbinder shows up again.
Wait, really? The homeless guy from the seminar? He's in the catacombs.
Yep, he just kind of appears out of nowhere, like a ghost. It's very dramatic.
Okay, I'm picturing this. It's dark, maybe a few flickering candles, and suddenly there's the spellbinder.
Right, and it's all very intentional. He's using those catacombs as a metaphor for deep sleep.
Ah, I see. So it's like sleep is this hidden world, this secret space where we go to recharge.
Exactly. And he's really emphasizing that sleep isn't a weakness, it's crucial for recovery, both physically and mentally.
That's so important, especially in today's world where everyone's so obsessed with productivity and hustling all the time.
Totally. He even brings up those twin cycles of elite performance again, reminding us that we need those periods of rest to balance out the intense effort.
Right, it's all about finding that equilibrium. Push yourself, but also allow yourself to rest.
And he gets really personal here. He actually shares a story about how he burned himself out from working too much and how learning to embrace rest actually transformed his life.
It's always more impactful when you hear those stories from people who've achieved a high level of success. It makes it feel more real, you know?
Absolutely. It's like even billionaires need to prioritize their sleep.
Exactly. So we've talked about sleep, we've explored those 11 maxims, those guiding principles, and we've touched on those practical strategies for implementing this whole philosophy. Is there anything else we need to cover?
I think we've hit all the major points. What I really appreciate about this book is how it ends on such a positive note. It's not about prescribing a rigid formula for success. It's more about giving you a framework for self-discovery and growth.
It's like find what works for you, adapt it to your own life, and create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling.
Exactly. And that's what makes this book so empowering. It's not just about achieving external markers of success. It's about cultivating inner peace and purpose and joy.
That's a great takeaway. So for everyone listening, here's a final thought to ponder. Could adopting even one element of the 5 a.m. Club philosophy transform your life? What small step can you take today to own your morning and elevate your life? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll see you next time.